my problem with being submissive is I feel like I have to dim myself down for a man. And it's like, no, I don't want to dim myself down for no man. Like, I don't need no man feeling like he just got the power and control over me.
But before we could be programmed by the music and social media, for many of us, we were programmed straight from our home, right? Our mothers. We watched our mothers be alpha females. You know, we watched our mothers be very dominant, be very aggressive, very bossy, just this don't play with me mentality. And I think that it's just done us harm, you know. And the term alpha female, right? If you Google the definition, it does talk about basically a woman who is assertive, who's confident, and who's successful. That's what they deem an alpha woman to be. Now, I don't know where the definition actually came from, but that's what when I Google it, this is exactly what it says. And I don't think that when most women say I'm an alpha woman, they're talking about being assertive, confident, and successful. They're talking about I gotta handle my business. They're talking about I gotta do what I gotta do. It's just me taking care of my kids. Like that whole like aggressive woman. Alpha female in today's society is an aggressive woman. Very aggressive. It's not just about being assertive, because I believe, for those who do not know, many of y'all don't know, when I started Just a Girl, the meaning behind Just a Girl, the brand, the Just a Girl name is my business. It is my brand. And I started that business in 2017, right? And when I started Just a Girl, the whole idea around it is really embracing your femininity and being just a girl. Like I was hip to this before it was a trend to be just a girl. Like this was 2017. Nobody was saying I'm just a girl. Nobody was saying that back then. Nobody at all. So for me, I wanted women to embrace the soft side of it. Us. You can still be assertive and still be very feminine. You don't have to turn into a bee, right, to get your point across. You don't have to turn into a very aggressive person. You can be very assertive. That means just knowing what you want, being confident in what you want, and confident in yourself, but still being very feminine. But because we are now alpha females, it has taken a turn. So with that being said, and talking about how we have been programmed by our mothers, I'm going to share this first clip with you guys. And this woman talks about just the challenge of growing up with a lot of alpha females. Be sure to like the live, y'all. Support the channel. Support this live is greatly appreciated. And let's get into the show. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on the screen. Pause it real quick. Okay. Here we go.
Being a woman growing up around all alpha women and then growing to try to be submissive is the hardest thing ever, and it's not really talked about. Like, it's so crazy. Like, most women don't know how to be submissive because they never seen women be submissive in a way. And let me not get on here and say my family not married, but I come from a family where most likely 9 times out of 10, although the man is providing, he is seen but not heard. Like, I've never really heard a man in my family really tell a woman what to do, what to wear, where she can and can't go. I never had heard a woman have to ask for permission to do anything that she wanted to do. So it's kind of hard being submissive to a man that wants to lead and take control, because it's like, I don't like feeling like somebody telling me what to do in a way, because I grew up around women who wasn't being told what to do, or who was just in control most of the time. Like, yeah, the man provided, but like, it was up to them. Most things was up to them on how things were going to go, not up to the man telling them how it's going to go.
So what she's describing, what we use the term now, what we use the word, they were simps, right? We use that word for men who let women run the show, be in charge, control them, right? We call it that these men are simp type of men, right? But what she's saying is very true. right? Very true that this is a reality for many relationships and many women growing up watching their mothers or grandmothers or aunties, whether it's a relationship with their father, whether it's a relationship that the mother has with her boyfriend, or like, so it's real. Like she said, the man is seen and not heard. That's us as women. We are the ones who are supposed to be seen, not heard. Why, as my wife, my girlfriend, my partner, whatever, everybody hear you coming? They hear your mouth yapping before we even get into the door. And as she said, I struggle with allowing a man to try to tell me what to do or guide me or lead me, because I never saw that. To her, it's a form of like, who you think you are? What you think this is? Because I ain't never seen this before. Ain't no, you may view it as a weakness for you to allow a man to tell you what to do. She literally said the women in her family, 9 times out of 10, they never had to ask their husbands or partners or whatever, anything. They did whatever they wanted to do. Like, did whatever they wanted to do. And the man is providing, right? Taking care of you, and you're going to still do what you want to do. So with that being said, ladies who are watching, do y'all understand how men can change their whole tune when they come out of relationships like that? Right? They let a woman run them. They thought that's what they were supposed to do, because you know what? 9 times out of 10, they were raised by an alpha woman. So they watched their mother do that to men. So they adapted that mentality of, as a man, I guess that's how it's supposed to be when a woman is with me. It's just we're all learning and being programmed. So the woman is watching her mother, and the man is also watching his mother interact with men. And he's adapting that mentality, that personality, that mindset of how you're supposed to show up in a relationship with a woman. You provide and you shut up. And they say it all the time. They want a man to just pay their bills and shut up. Shut up. That's what they want. They want men to pay the bills, sleep with them, and shut their mouths.
But yeah, it's hard for me to be submissive because it's just like, I'm not trying to listen to everything a man say. Like, men talk. Like, I didn't even know men talk for real. To disagree with you. Like, being in my past relationship, it was like, I was surprised a man even argued back with you. Like, well, not even argue back, but just spoke back, like, when you was talking to them. For example, my grandma, she used to go on ranting. And my grandpa, he wouldn't say nothing. He'd let her fit, like, he would keep letting her go for a couple minutes. I said my grandma would be going for a couple minutes. And then out of nowhere, my grandpa he'll say 3 words. Shut up, Loretta. Three words. And I promise you, after that, my grandma won't have nothing else to say because he done let her get it all out. And I just be feeling like that's how some men should just be. Like, sometimes a woman just needs to express themselves. And then after you know that they almost done expressing themselves, or you know they done, tell them just be quiet and go sit down somewhere.
So that right there is the biggest problem, right? She can't realize that was the wrong dynamic, right? She thinks that, why can't a man just do that? Why can't you just let us go on, say what we got to say, what we want to say, whatever we want to say, and I'm about to be done. Just tell me to shut up, right? Instead of saying, why can't we as women, and trust me, this is a struggle that I work through every day, right? Knowing when to just not say something or when to say something, choosing your battles. Everything doesn't need to be said. It just doesn't. Everything doesn't need to be said. So she can't recognize the fact that, okay, why couldn't my grandmother have took a different approach to how she spoke to my grandpa? That man was choosing peace. That man was like, you know what, girl, shut up. I'm not even paying you no mind. I'm not paying you no mind. But unfortunately, you're watching it as a child. You're watching it. And I'm gonna say this. This is the sad thing, how we talk about how grandpop had all the girls back in the day and he was cheating on grandma. He probably was because of that. Grandpop had another chick that was treating him good. And that was doing what he wanted her to do, what he wanted her to do. I'm just saying, because they always love to bring up how grandpa was cheating and doing this to grandmom and blah 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 blah. But you see how that can happen. You push grandpa into somebody else's arms, being all aggressive and nasty and mean. You know, but the idea for us as women to think that men should just shut up and let us do what we want to do, say we want to say, and not have a response is insane. She said she didn't even know men really said much. She was caught off guard that the man in her last relationship even had something to say. But again, we do call these men simps, as I said in the beginning, right? And it just creates a generation of them. It very much creates a generation of these men.
Like, I didn't know when I'm expressing myself that a man actually spoke back, and now I gotta rebuttal with you about something. Like, I don't know, that's just been hard for me. Like, a man wanted me to do whatever he wanted me to do and want me to submit to him, and it's just like, I truthfully don't really know how, like, to submit to no man. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I need permission to do this? What do you mean I need to talk to you before I do this? And that can be a downfall to a lot of relationships when you are alpha female and a man wants to be an alpha male. But I feel like it should be some type of balance too. Like, you should be able to be an alpha female and be in a relationship with an alpha male. Where you don't feel like you gotta dim yourself. Like, I be feeling like my problem with being submissive is I feel like I have to dim myself down for a man. And it's like, no, I don't want to dim myself down for no man. Like, I don't need no man feeling like he just got the power and control over me. But I don't know. But it's just like, I've never seen a man just tell a woman fully what to do. Like, and maybe he did tell her what to do behind closed doors, but I just didn't see that growing up. It was just like, men talk. Like,
so I appreciate her acknowledging this, and just sharing her struggles and, being a young woman and trying to figure it out. Let's make something clear. An alpha woman and an alpha man will never work. That's two gorillas trying to, like, two alpha, like, why would somebody has to run the show. We both cannot run the show. We just can't. That's why there is a CEO. Then everybody comes underneath. There's the boss. Everyone, because we can't have, it just doesn't work like that. Two alpha man and an alpha woman is just never going to work. Never. But unfortunately, the idea of submission, the idea of submitting to a man, being viewed as dimming your light, is how most Black women see it. Let's just make it very clear. Black women have a very hard time with that word submissive. It's like, it is like a disease to their body that attacks when they hear women talk about being submissive to their husbands, right? But I will say this, because some people say you shouldn't be submissive to anybody but your husband. I personally believe that if you are dating someone, he's courting you and you are dating for marriage, you need to show him that you can be a submissive woman, period. There's no way, honestly, in my opinion, and men that are in the chat, please tell me what you think about this. But how will a man know if how would a man know if you can follow his lead in marriage if you don't show him that while you're dating, courting? Correct? Men in the chat, like, let me know if am I wrong. Would you need to see that a woman can follow your lead even before you decide to marry her. You need to see some signs that she's cooperative. She trusts your judgment. She trusts your decision making. That is what submitting is. And women need to understand that we submit every day, all day, in our jobs and within our friend groups. We submit all the time. But when it comes to a man in that intimate relationship, you like, I don't like that. I don't want to dim my light. You dim your light every day. If that's how you view submission, as dimming your light, when you go to work, you don't run the show. You're submitting to your boss. You don't run the show. You are submitting to your boss.